Hi, my name is Claudia Russell, and this is my Chapter 5 takeaway. So, the biggest overall thing that I learned from this chapter was kind of the whole idea of common ground, these shared beliefs, values, and behaviors that you share with your audience. Kind of with that, it was talking about the idea of your unconscious beliefs and how these are beliefs that we don't normally think about, we don't normally think that we have. And maybe somebody brings something up or somebody talks about something and you think about, oh, I do have that belief. So with this, I really learned a lot about finding information of your audiences. So there's two different kind of main categories. You had your psychographic information, which again is that attitudes, beliefs, values, and you had the demographic, which is identifying and categorizing your audience. So kind of the first under the psychographic that really taught me a lot was the informal conversations. You can learn a lot about your audience simply through having conversations, live conversations, maybe over the phone or even text, mostly with open-ended questions: why, who, where, when, that type of deal. The second is audience survey. Audience survey is allowing you to have much more focused questions, and those don't have to be open-ended and can be close-ended. So how many of this? How much of this did you do? Kind of getting a more direct and kind of funneling where you want your questions to go. The second one that I learned about that I honestly did not think about, but now I see it so much, is online presence. Seeing how a company, a brand, an organization perceives themselves on social media, but then also how they are perceived by other people can teach you a lot about your audience. And then the last one was the publicity materials. This one was also really interesting to me because it's looking at what the organization put out and how your audience, what they're expecting you to talk about, which I'm speaking at a soccer team, and I've learned that I can go and see, hey, what did they tell their soccer team? What are they expecting of me? What's the expectation here? Kind of the biggest thing that challenged me was addressing my audience as a whole and not individuals. So this really challenged me because I always tend to speak to my youth group. And so I'm really used to talking to them as a whole. But when I talk to other groups, under other individuals, other speaking moments, I tend to think of them as more as individuals. And I was actually talking to somebody about this last night, which is kind of crazy. But overall, it just challenged me to learn to adapt to my audience, and that I might have to help my audience care about what I care about and be passionate what I care about while finding common ground. So I kind of already mentioned the two ways that this adapts in my personal and professional life. The biggest is just finding information about a client or not client. I mean, I guess it could be a client, but finding information about where you're speaking at and how you can find common ground with them so that you can best meet their needs and you can best grab their attention. But then also speaking to them as a whole and not just individual people, I think is going to continue to challenge me as I am speaking to different sports teams and just different opportunities this semester. But thank you so much.